What's up guys, today we're going to be talking about the Meike automatic extension tube set. It's a macro adapter, so stay tuned to hear all about it. What's up guys, my name is Jesus Martinez and I'm a San Diego photographer trying to go full-time, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow the journey. Alright guys, like I mentioned, today we're going to be talking about the Meike automatic extension tube set, and again, it is the fanciest name they could have found for a macro adapter. And this will actually turn any of your lenses into a macro lens, meaning your focusing range is going to be very close to whatever you're trying to shoot, compared to some lenses that tend to have sometimes 1 feet, 2 feet, so you can't really get in that close to your subject, your little product shot or whatever you're shooting, and get those really fine tiny details on the subject. Now this is the Meike automatic extension tube set that I'm talking about, the macro adapter, and it actually has pretty much two adapters. There's a 10mm and a 16mm inside this box. So the funny thing is you can actually connect both of the adapters and it then turns into a third adapter with the 10 and the 16. So you can actually get 3 zooms into the lens, if that makes any sense. 3 times closer to the subject that you're photographing, which I thought was really cool. It really gives you all that ability to play around. You don't get stuck with just one macro adapter and you have to get that close. So that's pretty cool from them. So I just started editing the video and I looked up the macro adapters. Now there's only one version for $30. I don't know what happened. There used to be 2, a $17 and a $30. Now it's just 30 bucks. So sorry about that. Still not that bad, but let's get back into the review. I actually bought this thing just to make a review on it on YouTube, as I'm never really playing around with macro photography. But in the recent time, like I had mentioned, I'm trying to shoot more weddings and getting into the wedding business. And I realized that I can't really photograph rings without a macro lens, because I mean, with a macro lens, you just get that amazing photos. Like it just looks way better than a non-macro lens. I don't know if that helped out anybody, but that's pretty much it. So I got this basically to photograph rings and go from there before I dive into an actual macro lens sooner or later. I took some test shots with this macro adapter along with my Sony a6400 and my Sony 50mm 1.8 lens. Now I did some photos of a ring inside some flowers, try to get a little artsy on this thing, but I will mention that the rings do focus automatically, but not once you have all of them put together. I do recommend you to just go manual, because manual is way better to get what you want in focus, as if you're using the automatic focus, it's gonna be a very hard time. So definitely stick to manual focus. Alright guys, so the first shot we started with was actually only my 50mm 1.8 lens. And the 50mm lens, I think it has to be about 1.5 feet that you have to be away from your subject. So this is the actual shot that I got with it. So right off the bat, you can see on the one on the left, which is actually my favorite ones that came out, it really blows out the background, obviously 1.8, but the focus being at 1.8 and on the ring, it was a little bit hard to catch the entire ring. That's why I actually chose to go to an f5 on the right side, but then again, everything's in focus and we kind of lose that beautiful bokeh going on. This is actually the first macro adapter. I believe it was the 10mm, whichever, the smallest one there is. And right off the bat, you can see the left side. I love this image. I love how it looks, but when I actually zoomed in, the focus was really tough on it because of the diamond, and that's my explanation to it. Again, I was shooting it with the peaking, so I could tell that there was red around the actual crystal, but I'm guessing that 1.8 is just way too shallow for a diamond at this distance. And obviously to our right, we see it at f5. This third shot is actually with the second ring only, the 16mm macro adapter. Again, to our left 1.8, to our right it's the aperture of 5, and just notice the big difference in the focus. On the 1.8, it just blows it out so much more when we're just that much closer to the actual ring. And guys, these photos, I did not crop into them or anything like that. This is how close you can get to the actual subject with the macro adapters. Now this is the last photo I took, and this is actually with both adapters put together, the 10 and the 16 and my lens, and this is what you get. Remember, I did not crop into these. This is right out of the camera. Just pay attention of how close we are from this to just the first one, the 10mm. It really lets you get that much closer to your subject. So to our right, we got the ring at an aperture of 5. And you guys notice the one on the left is a little bit warmer than the photo on the right. Well, on the right, I actually used a second light, and I think the temperature was different from the actual light that I had in the living room, which is where I shot this. And here, let me just show you the setup actually. So this was my actual janky setup that I had. So that bulb, it's not the same bulb that I have on the ceiling. The temperatures are off, and I feel like that's what affected these photos. But let me know what you guys think. I want to say I really enjoyed this. It was really fun shooting with this because just the bokeh and how close I was able to get to the ring really made a difference. And I'm almost 99% sure that I'm buying that macro lens next time I get money. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys liked this video or found it helpful, don't forget to drop a like below. It really helps out the channel, guys. Now, I recommend this lens if you guys are just trying to have fun with some macro photography or just trying to jump in that game, because it is much cheaper than buying the lens and realizing if you are going to need that big purchase. I will drop the link so you guys can check it out on Amazon. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And see you on the next video. Peace.